Hey, box of paint! Hello! Please let me know if you can hear and see. Howdy, hope it's been a good week. Hey, hope it's been a good week for you. Mine's been okay. Okay, a satisfying level of week. Hey, Lena! Hello! Can see well and think sound is okay so far. Okay. If there's anything that can possibly be improved, please let me know. I'll see what I can do. Our aquarium decided to finally sort itself. So we got some... I'm waiting for a stupid heart to go. Ah! Oh, we got some teeny tiny little fish today. So what? I'm not familiar with aquariums and whatnot. So what's the process? You kind of have to set it up without fishes, without fish, so that it what balances itself, or how does that work? Little rainbow fish. Oh, that sounds adorable. We got it for Christmas, set it up, added biohelper chemicals, and then the filter has to balance, and the nitrites and ammonia have to be 0. Oh! It was steady and then would freak out and then be steady, but they were clear. Oh, cool! So you have like actual algae and like plants in there, right? They are so little, but the flashes of color is amazing. 3 are blue and 1 is orange and blue. Ooh! We have some plants and lots of hiding spots. That sounds really cute. And a snail snuck in on the plants, so it's been helping with the... That's so funny. Snails are funny. I'm trying to think of something to draw on this final sketchbook page. What else is in the sketchbook? Oh, all sorts of things. I'm trying to finish it so I can film a tour and talk about everything that's in the sketchbook. So not gonna spoil. Well, I mean, you've probably all seen what's in the sketchbook anyway, because it's stuff I end up using for reviews or posting on Instagram or something. One of the 5 is a little bit emo and hanging out by itself, and the other 4 are like, they're on speed, so I'm a little worried, and I keep checking. Aw. Beat will give you an idea. Oh, yeah, it's basically anything goes, because there's not an actual theme to the sketchbook. I tried to do my last page as part of a 2-panel comic panel, 1 last page of book 1 and second. Oh, that's a really fun idea. Nice, I enjoyed the tours you published last week. Yeah. I started a new one, because if I finish a book, I need to start another one. And it's one of these, so I fully expect to have to use a tape in this one as well. First time I cracked it open, it literally went clang, and I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Yay! So, so when I forget dates and things, I can sort of... I try to, like, always... Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, I did it here. So I dated the inside of the cover. And I tried to do an intro page in all my sketchbooks. And then, like, proceed with them. This one is super fat, so I'm kind of eager to film the tour of it, but still need to finish it. I can't film a tour if it's not finished. The cover is pretty. Well, the cover is plain, and I added a bunch of stickers on it. So I really liked the artist who made the tiger stickers. And this is just one of my own stickers that had a cat hair stuck in it, so I just pasted it on the cover. It's probably prettier without it, because this is somewhat cohesive. And I really like these little tigers. I have a kind of like a wall tapestry, and I have t-shirts of them, and I really like them. Hey, Otto! Oh my gosh! Hello! Yeah, I do the cat self-portraits in the beginning. In some way. I thought I was really good at dating at least the first page and found my sketchbook from uni and not a single date. Oh no. I'm a bit ill. Oh no. It's still there, still bothering you. Ah. Sorry about that. It was probably a bit loud. Here, I saw the word up, climb. I don't know what, no idea what it's related to, but I'll use that as inspiration, I think. I have one of those pencils. You send it to me. This one is from you. So I'm not surprised. It's so pretty. It's sparkly. I don't know if you can see, but it's sparkly in the plastic. And I should probably remove the label, but I'm always worried that it will leave a sticky mess. Oh no. Okay, never mind. There you go. perfect spot for it. Is Otto's pencil pink? Of course. Of course you send it to me, or of course it's pink, or both. The ones I have are pink. Yeah. I can't remember what colors I sent to Eve because I've clearly not remembered I sent them to her. You sent me this one, and it's not the same model, but I have a pink one too. It's in my on the other oh yeah, I didn't even realize, but I put like mint colored lead in it, but I don't think it came with it. I put the lead in. I was looking for pencils the other day, not because I need them, but to see what's out there, and I was tempted by the Pilot ones with colorful lead. The Pilot Eno. I'm not a huge fan of them for two reasons. First of all, they are 0.7 millimeter lead, so they're a bit big for my tastes. And I don't often reach for something like that. And they don't erase as well as other colored leads. I enrolled my first draft of my PhD thesis with... Whoa! Really? Oh my gosh. Hand wrote. That must have been a lot of pages. Did you do it on separate pages or in the, like, notebooks? What leads do you get instead? Hold on. This is the other one that Otto sent me. A very Otto pen, so... I don't think I have them on hand. I've put away, but I get the Uni Mitsubishi LEDs. They have a whole range of colors, like orange, red, pink, green, like aqua blue, blue, and purple. 100,000 handwritten words. Oh my gosh, that's impressive. Yeah, it's must have taken you quite a long time to like type them up. The two colors, they do. You know what's missing? It's missing like a yellow one. Oh, hold on. It's not as cute, but there you go. The Smake, well, this is me. Cyan, magenta, yellow pencils. So I thought that maybe today I would suggest we talk about something that I thought, oh, I didn't even notice you could roll out some eraser. How cool is that? Okay. Yeah, so I came upon a tiny bit of YouTube watercolor drama yesterday, and it kind of cracked me up because it was so silly. And I thought it could be an interesting discussion topic, maybe, but to talk about the notion of give me a second just to put the English words in proper order in my head. So maybe like if you're an artist and a content creator and you decide to put some of your content online, like work on stuff with the intent of putting it online and therefore being sort of a public persona, why is it that so many people do that but then assume that they are entitled to controlling the way they are perceived by whoever stumbles upon their content? Does that make sense? Does your clamp say clamp? Yep. Hold on. It says clampy. It's a Penco clampy. A plastic clip. They're nice. I like them. But yeah, clampy to clamp. Don't use that eraser. Yeah, I am really picky on erasers. I often use, it's always Japanese erasers, and I have a whole box of plus erasers that I don't even think I've made a dent in. But I know erasers are, can really break a drawing if you're not careful. Sending you all the words I have. Oh my gosh. It's weird because I often think part in English and part in French, so it's really weird sometimes to try and put a bunch of feelings in two languages into a cohesive sentence in one language. Yep, makes sense. Entitlement, like what kind of reaction they get? Yeah, like they fully expect to not get negative criticism and come up with all kind of defenses. Can you hold off talking about the drummer for like 2 minutes? Yeah, sure. We can talk about food instead for 2 minutes. Oh, speaking of food, we got the weekly takeout yesterday from a Asian Creole place, and it was amazing. It was really, really cool, and it was like a ridiculous pile of food. We got a griot, and one was griot with chicken. And it was just, it's such a different kind of takeout that you usually can find, in the sense that what griot is, it's marinated pork. And then I think it's braised or cooked slowly. But you don't often get like stewed or slowly cooked meats offered as a takeout thing. More often than not, like it's the kind of stuff you have to make yourself. You don't really have any kind of stew takeout place, or maybe like shredded meats is the closest you get to that, but it's not the most common kind of takeout food you can find. We ordered today and got vegan burgers. Burgers. So yeah, I was kind of astonished to see that. And also it was different in the way that it's very flavorful, but it's all very like mild flavors. So you don't get something that is like burn your mouth spicy, or tangy or sweet. It's kind of balanced. It's a little bit of everything. And when you sort of mix it all together, it's even better. So that was a fun experience. But I am surprised that just how pricey restaurant food is at the moment. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. No, I don't really know how to say this. Like, I get it, but it's still kind of expensive, like $50 for one meal. Well, we had leftovers, but still $50 for 2 person. That's spicy in terms of pricing. Of course, we could order Domino's and pay $30, but dang, I mean, food is getting pricey. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for holding. No problem. So yeah, we can eat out for almost the same price as grocery shopping for one meal. That hasn't always been the case. Wait, hold on. Eat out for almost the same prices. Meaning what? Meaning that the restaurant food is more expensive, or that the grocery stuff is more expensive? I mean, great Domino's, but that's for another day. Oh no. But hubby made spaghetti and it was almost £20 for the ingredients. What's in that spaghetti? What did you put in there? We can order pizza for £20. Oh my gosh. It's probably meat, right? Meat is like super expensive. Alright, so back to the... Oh, Brexit. I think if we order pizza Domino's for 2 of us and it makes for like... we have leftovers, so we can eat twice on that order, and it's 30-40 Canadian dollars. So I don't know how many euros that is, but it was passata, onions, fake meat, garlic, the noodles. Oh my god. Okay, fake meat and the cheese are probably the culprits, because fake meat is offensively expensive. I mean, I thought the whole point was that it's not meat, and as such, it doesn't, require the same kind of production intensity, and could be more affordable, but no. Alright, drama. So yeah, basically, like you're, well, I mean, I guess a creative, it doesn't necessarily have to be paint or whatever, but you're someone who is a creative, you have an audience, and you put out a product that you want people to buy, because that's the whole point, right? Why is it that so many people expect only to get positive and like nice feedback? I'm not saying to be nasty, but I can't I can't fathom in my head. Sorry. I cannot make sense of it in my head that one can consider that there just won't be any negative feedback. Like, it logically doesn't make sense. Just with the sheer amount of people out there. Like, there's gonna be some percentage of people out there who won't like the thing for sure. Started to drill. Otto, what's happening? I think many people can't handle honest feedback and take it personally, but I mean, how do you get to the point of putting yourself online and putting a product online and not be ready for the possible honest negativity, whatever feedback that will come? Antisocial hours for carpentry. Yeah, you're not gonna make any friends with the neighbors. Oh, Mao, yeah, you do work with public long enough and you either sink or get used to it. Social media is not the place to go if you need constant praises. Can you hear me at all? Is it better? Is it better? I don't know. I noticed a change of posts amongst art theme topic to how can I improve fast, but at the same time I did no mean stuff or critique and I was confused. Yeah. Drilling. It's so funny. He decided to drill a cable hole in his desk. I'm really appreciating Lana's description. It's just so sudden. To be fair to him, he had been looking after me all evening and decided while you're live streaming he would get on with the DIY. Yeah, sure, but it's just You know, I'm never really mentally prepared for someone to start drilling all of a sudden. That's just it. He says, I'm going to drill one more hole if that's okay. How many cable holes? I don't know. This is definitely one sport that I could never do. I don't mind like rock climbing, like the walls you can get in gyms and whatnot, but the real thing on a mountainside, no, thank you. Though it's not. I think I would do that before I would go down in any caves. I can't do the caves. The nope, just nope. You're through. Jesus Christ, more hoovering. Well, at least he's tidy. Like he's not like leaving all this sawdust there. Hoover, Hoover, Hoover. I couldn't either. All I can do is fall. Yep, that's a good way to sum it up. I like hiking, but not climbing like sheer vertical surfaces. Nope. I fully agree. Hiking is different. It's just walking far. Yeah, it's walking far, and sometimes you get a higher difficulty level. But at least it's all like you can rely on gravity to some extent and to sort of not kill you. Yeah, hiking is a lot more casual and less deathly. Yep, 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 yep. That's basically the whole thing. And yeah, spelunking is just nightmarish. I couldn't even do the capsule hotels. And you can mix however you want. Yep. I know this is probably the furthest from accurate as can be in terms of what rock climbing is, but it's just a little sketch. It is a little drawing, and if someone comes after me for it, I'm ready. That's fine. My friend started hiking with her kids with kid-friendly hikes, which were like 2 kilometer walk that ended at the playground with snacks. Oh, that's lovely. That's such a cute idea. Jace's is done with the noisy stuff now. Good, awesome. I hope the DIY was will turn out like he wanted. You seem to be really good with DIY. So yeah, I mean, if you did, and kids will learn to like the activity and train their tiny legs for long hikes. Yeah, definitely a good idea. He seems happy with what he's done so far. Yay! All right, so back to the drama. I really want to talk about this drama thing. I can have more specific details if you guys are curious about that. I don't think anyone will find this stream, or I don't think the whole point here is to be particularly mean towards someone, but it was such a weird experience to witness, because that's kind of not how my brain works. So whenever I find a situation like that, I'm always a bit puzzled. Like it's a bit harder to process because that's not what I would go through. Of course, we want the deets. Okay, context. So, you guys know Lindsay the Frugal Crafter? You all know Lindsay. Lindsay is awesome, and we all love her. And recently, she did a full review of a range of products made by another YouTuber. I think her name is Christy Rice. I don't know why I'm blanking out on her last name. It just happens, but yeah, she has this whole channel like Paint Crush with Christy Rice, and her whole shtick is to focus on the joy of painting rather than be bogged down by all the rules and whatnot. So it's really just about freeing people to create art. That's her shtick. And her product line, she has like paints, she has brushes, a couple of other accessories, and Lindsay reviewed like these items. And it was a really nice review. I watched the review that Lindsay put out, and it seems to be like on par with what Lindsay does. She assesses the paints, does swatches, does paintings, gives her thoughts, her impression on the paints. And yeah, basically, to Lindsay, the paints were kind of like a decent amateur brand. She compared them to other pans like Arteza or Meeden, possibly. So, that kind of amateur paints, but good paints, but, there's something a bit missing from them. And I don't know exactly why, but that seemed to have really gotten to Christy. And Christy made a whole live stream where she kind of felt like she had to talk about this. And I think the whole situation key factor here is that I think a lot of people were not necessarily being super duper nice in Lindsay's comment section on that video. And I'm not sure why. Anyway, so Christy saw that and it hurt her feelings and whatnot, and that's what made me think about this whole situation of being a content creator online and putting out something, anything, but not being ready at all to deal with possibly neutral or negative feedback if we're talking about the comments section, because I don't think Lindsay had nothing like negative to say about the paints. She liked them, but she was able to assess them fairly because we all know Lindsay, and she must have tried every single brand of paint out there. So I fully trust Lindsay to be able to categorize the type of paint on a spectrum, you know, from amateur to professional. Lynn says good reviews, she tests well, and she always tries to be positive. Yeah, yeah. If you find a Lindsay review a product and she's negative about the product, you know that it's really, really, really bad. Because she always tries to be fair and to come to it with a positive mindset. Lindsay is the most pro and fair reviewer on watercolor YouTube. Oh Lord, never read the comment section. It's like Googling your name, it's never going to do your ego any good. Definitely. I mean, we all do it. The thing is if you decide to do it, you have to be ready to deal with it properly. Like I don't mind it all that much. More often than not, when I get rude comments, I find them a bit funny, and ultimately I will just either reply something and then call it a day, or just delete them. I don't care. But yeah, I come from a background that's a bit more attached to that stuff, like graphic design. You get your stuff go through the blender of the teacher's feedback and whatnot. So you kind of have to figure out early on that, you know, feedback is feedback, and you do whatever you want with it, and it's impossible. It's a mathematical impossibility that everyone will like whatever product or content you put out there. It's just impossible. So yeah, I've had a couple of weird comments too. Like people have some pretty weird assumption about what it is to create content for YouTube. I think a lot of them assume that you make bank. So they tend to be very harsh in their critics of certain things, but yeah, spoilers, we don't make bank. At least not watercolor YouTube, you know? So yeah, so I mean, the whole situation, okay, fine. But then it was the live stream that Christy did that was a bit weird. And it started off with a specific kind of energy, and by the end of it, like, she was really trying hard to move the energy towards something more positive. But it was such a weird concentration of notions that I'm just not familiar with. Like, things like lazy words, and I was like, what's a lazy, what are lazy words? I have no idea what that is. And you know, she there's a point where she's telling us how to do reviews, and I was a bit like unimpressed by that bit. I was like, no, you put something out there, that's it. That's the extent of your impact on how it's perceived. You made the thing happen and you put it out there. The moment someone buys it from you, or from whatever selling platform you have, it's out of your hands. You cannot do anything about that. And if there's a quality issue and the people don't reach out to you, well, I mean, it's just a thing that happens. I don't know. Surely the words lazy words are lazy. I have no idea what it is. From what I could get from the context, I think it's maybe related to when people don't take the time to sit with their thoughts for a second or two, or to really think about it a bit longer before saying something. Like if you say the first things that come to mind, that those would be the lazy words. I to me that felt like, you know, the therapy talk, but the bad kind of therapy talk. I'm just like, what? What kind of, like, it starts feeling culty, and I was just like, okay, I have no idea what this is about. And I mean, people will use whatever they want. You can't control them. It's just weird to me, this notion that you'll put something out there and have such strong expectations of the reaction that you don't take into consideration that it might not be like that at all. Hey, Mikey! Hello! I'm pretty sure that's the definition of the use of lazy words. So, yeah, and she was like, You know, there were a bit of it was a bit of a pity party, which is not a super cute look either. Like stuff like, oh, I've always been bullied. I don't know why. People must hate how I look. And I don't know if she said that, but there was a part that was a bit like yuck, where she's like, oh, I've always been the bully and people bully me and blah blah blah. And I'm like, they did not go to you to be mean to you. They left us, I don't know, I haven't seen any mean comments, I haven't looked for them, but they left a comment on someone else's video about your thing that you put out there. Like, don't go read it. They didn't go to you to be like, nah, your page sucks. That's not what happened. Like, you cannot call it bullying. I don't know, it was just so surreal, so weird. I really can't figure it out in my head, which is why I'm bugged by it so much. Back, we had an impromptu ceremony for emo fish. Oh no! Oh no, emo fish! Aww. Oh, Mikey. It's so weird, especially when releasing products that are targeted at a certain audience, and many cheapish are not well chosen as a set. There will be some critique. I can't imagine Lindsay being unfair. No, she was not unfair at all. I think like the mean-ish content was mostly in the comments. Nothing was mean in Lindsay's review. But I guess in the comments, some people had gripes with the products and they used this opportunity on Lindsay's channel to talk about it. They didn't go to Christy to be like on our channel, our content, to be like, hey, blah, you know. I think people that call that bullying. Well, it had such a weird overall feeling of entitlement, even if that was not Christie's intention or whatever, but it's just so out of touch with reality to see someone with a super supportive audience with no negative interactions really, unless you seek them out. And it was so focused on the negative and trying to have it make sense in their perception of it, but at the same time their perception of it is not necessarily connected to the reality of the thing. So no, it's not bullying, it's just people having a different opinion and perception of something. And the fact that they don't like it doesn't mean it's bullying. I mean, perhaps some comments were more like bullying than others, but still, to me, the fact that they didn't go to the person directly to say it, to me, that feels like it's not quite bullying. Like, I can have any kind of thoughts I want about the Kardashians, and I can voice these thoughts. If I don't go to them to make my opinions known, I mean, it's irrelevant. Hey, Paolo! I saw a put down your pitchfork sort of message pop up from YouTube, but I hadn't seen the video yet either. Also, don't take so seriously what someone who has only watched your video and not used the product thinks of your products. But when people already dislike products, just bad products. I mean, people dislike Holbein. And I think it's one of the nicest paint to work on illustrations with. It's fine. They just don't have to come on my videos to tell me that Holbein sucks to my face. And I mean, if they do, I'm going to be like, I disagree, and I'll delete their comments. Who cares? How is that? Oh, are we talking about the new art drama? Yeah, the Christy Rice Lindsay thing. Lindsay was totally set up. Oh, that's a take I hadn't seen. Care to elaborate? Bullying would be for Lindsay to turn her audience against her and raid her channel, which hasn't. Yeah, exactly. Bullying would be to direct people to be mean to someone in a way that's some level of unjustified. But just being like, ugh, even, okay, this is made up, okay, disclaimer, this next part is totally made up. Even if someone in the comments on Lindsay's video was like, I really don't like Christy Rice, she gets on my nerves, I think her products are not great and overpriced and cheap stuff with a new label, okay? Made up. I didn't see that. I took some of the most basic negative comments I've seen in general and so what? How is that bullying? That's someone's opinion. They can have that opinion. They can share that opinion online. What they cannot do is harass you with it. And that's not what happened. Like, they didn't go to Christie's channel. They went to Lindsay's review of the products. Like, it was related to the content they watched. Wait. Do you think she did all this on purpose so she gets talked about? Is this like a stealth? I don't think... It doesn't feel in character for what I've seen of Christy Rice to do something like that. But... it's a bit weird. Like, there's this... There's this duality of, like, she sent out these products to Lindsay to review, and which is really nice and generous, that's fine, but it's not what, like, you shouldn't expect that it will necessarily be a positive review if you decide to send something to someone. And there was a point of sort of contention, possibly, that it was the older packaging, and there was something on the older packaging that wasn't true, and like that annoyed Christy because Lindsay said something according to that, and apparently it's not true. It's about using dyes in the paint, but at the same time, there are some like fluorescent colors in Christie's set, so of course there will be dyes somewhere. You cannot have a fluorescent paint and it not coming from a dye somewhere. Like, ugh. Let me elaborate, and this is just my opinion and my take. Yeah, of course. I found the videos and can post the links. Oh yeah, if you want to post them to the live stream after party thing, you can. I mean, if you guys are interested, not to pile on the drama and to comment on any of these, but if you're curious about the whole situation. I think she was saying this because of the review made by Becca Hilburn. Oh, okay. Which has a peculiar way of putting stuff, and some people might see as bullying, which is not. And Christy Rice went overboard with the review Becca did. I thought it was Lindsay's review. Done. Okay. Overboard with the review Becca did, and she even reimbursed the money Becca spent and joined her Patreon, which is kind of shady and weird. I agree. That's, you know, that's kind of more of that sort of controlling feeling in a way. Even if it's not intentional, it has this energy of like, I'll make this even with you so you can't come after me. You know, kind of controlling the narrative a bit. And like, if I'm being nice to you, then you won't be mean to me. Does that make sense? She said that Becca should have contacted her first, which is also weird. Yeah, because you don't do that. Unless you receive a dud of a paint, and then you might contact the shop or the manufacturer or whatever. If the paint seems to be working as intended and you have a negative impression of it, that's valid. Why is that not a thing that can happen? Also, this is very poking a bear because Lindsay's fans are ride or die Lindsay fans. You don't want to turn her audience against you like that. Yeah. Lindsay has been talking about the review for like 2 weeks and saying that she was going to be really nice about it. She was really nice about it. That's the whole thing. I think she was this because of the review made by Becca. Okay, hold on. And said that Becca should have contacted her first, which is also weird, but I think that Lindsay watched the review and was taken back by Becca's review. And said in 2 or 3 videos that she was going to do a review, and of course she was going to be nice about it. Yeah, I mean, has anyone ever seen Lindsay not being nice? I don't think that happens. There's a weird expectation that if you send out products to be reviewed, they can't say anything negative. I mean, that's the whole... That's such a stupid mindset about it. Because, I mean, you as a company, I think you are much more of a winner if people have a honest opinion of you, even if it's not the most positive thing, rather than a made-up opinion that would be entirely positive but wrong, you know? Big brands do this as well, and I've been dropped by brands because I would only do 100% honest and thorough review. Oh my gosh. You don't get to dictate what the reviewers say. Yeah, I know! It said in 2, 3... Okay, hold on. And she knows the trouble a person has to go through to put out a product. Yeah, she says so in her review too. Like, she starts her review with kind of a really nice disclaimer about the products and how she says she's going to be super nice to them because she knows there's a lot of work and care and love behind them, and the review is super nice. She's really nice about the paints, but disputes that they are professional. I don't know if you know this. Well, she said that in the video too, like that she doubts they're professional paint, but professional paint is such a weird qualifier for paints nowadays because everything gets a label as professional paint in whatever listing on Amazon. Like, it's not the term itself is meaningless. It's the experience of the paint that really counts, basically. How are you gonna know what's not working if you don't get feedback? But that's the weird thing. Like, it's like they expect the feedback to be positive all the time. And that when they get negative feedback, that's the part that does not work. But it's like, what were you expecting? It explains why. It makes no sense, but of course, people from her side piled up on Lindsay. I think it was all orchestrated. From who? From Christy? She tells to her fans to watch the video, but not to make bad... Yeah, that's... Oh no, my hot chocolate is getting cold. It makes also a much better impression from a company that agrees to 100% honesty, as they are sure about the products they release. If they don't want it, it's shady. I mean, I much prefer a honest review. That way, if I decide to get the paints, I know exactly what I'm getting. Let's say Sennelier, for example. Their half pans, the earth tones, they're kind of weak and sometimes really hard to re-wet. Well, I'm still gonna buy Sennelier. I might just not buy the earth tones from Sennelier. That's it. Like, how is that such a bad thing? That's like being educated about the tool you use. It's useful information. Everyone knows what that means. People do it on purpose so they can say they're not responsible for the comment. Yeah, it's covering one's butt. I have hot chocolate, I have cocoa. Isn't that the same thing? Just because you're marketed as professional doesn't automatically mean... Yeah! And oh, it was such a brain twisty, weird live stream that Christy made, because she will talk in length about how she chose the color she wanted to have in her palette. But at the same time, she will say she's not a pigment nerd. So she doesn't really pay attention to pigments and light fastness and whatnot. But then she also wants the paints to be professional. And one of the factors that most professionals look at when they buy paint is elements that are super important if you plan on selling a painting that's going to be on the wall for years. So light fastness and pigment info. So brain melting. It was just so weird. So weird. Yes, my cocoa is cold. Yeah, me too. It's the powder. Oh, okay. Mine has sugar and a bit of oat milk in it. She has problems with lenses. Perhaps because she was painting the review to be a lot more negative than it actually is. So she was like, oh, go watch it for yourself. You'll see that Lindsay was nice. But how you be making professional paints if you're not pigment nerds? That's exactly what I thought. Like, exactly word for word. And the moment she said pigment nerds, I had kind of a knee-jerk reaction of like, don't you dare. I was worried she was gonna like call herself a pigment nerd when I know real pigment nerds and they are kind of more into the particulars of the pigments and whatnot. But then she says she's not a pigment nerd, so I was like, okay, fine. But at the same time, how can you put together a palette that is uniquely based upon the colors you like, yet claim that these are all light, fast, and professional, yet having a fluorescent color in there? And she says that it's fine to call a fluorescent color a professional color because professional ranges like Winsor & Newton and Holbein have fluorescent colors in there. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't make it any more light fast. Oh no, it's breaking Otto's brain too. There is pigment information on her paints now, but it's a list. Like, instead of having like color something, pigment this and this, color something, pigments this and this, it's a list like all the pigments used in this set, pigment, you know, like not sorted out between colors and whatnot. Professionals sound nice when telling people they're going to buy the same hobby paints all over again, just in a new box. Pigment nerd is a compliment. Yeah, that's a good thing. 2 or 3 fluorescent. Everything is so shady. It's the same argument like when people say professional paints would never fade. Oh, I fast. I'm like, it's one of my favorites. It always makes me laugh. Hey, Charlotte, hi. You know, like some of the good takes from the past, like, oh, this series is related to the amount of pigment in the paint, so the higher series, the more pigment in the paint. Sorry. I need to drink something. Oh my gosh, Otto, I'm so sorry. Didn't want to give away. Yeah, that's the thing. Christy didn't want to share her proprietary formulas for the paints, which is the hugest red flag of all. It's the same shit Stuart Semple serves us with his, you know, cakey koi paints relabeled. This box contains all the pigments. I would buy a paint that says that. Also, preferably if there's an actual like pigment rundown, but I think it's so funny. Put me out of my paint. Oh no! Hold on. We should not have pigment information because it's my secret. And then when DS bomb went off, made a video. Hold on, wait, what? I missed the beginning of that. Fudge. Hold on, I'm just trying to catch up on. Reminds me of another YouTuber which did not have pigment information because it's my secret. And then when DS Bomb went off, made a video really mad about DS. The comments were really hilarious. That's rich coming from someone who does... Oh, the big Primatech kerfuffle. Oh, yeah. It's like the pigment composition is not the formula. If you think that, you need to educate yourself about the whole process of making watercolor paint, like the details of it. That is the definition of non-professional paints. And I don't have the sets. I don't have the money to purchase our sets because, let's face it, they're kind of pricey. The palette of 12 half pan is $42 US. And I know it comes with a really cute tin with a silkscreen print design on it and whatnot, but it's still $42. And for that amount of money, I can get a actual professional set. I'm pretty sure that the Roman Schmalz set of half pans are close to that price somewhat. We know a fellow when we see one. Yeah, definitely. And when there are dyes. Yeah, and I mean, we can flash a black light on them to see if there's optical brighteners. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just something people like to know about their paints. That's it. And the whole notion of hiding it from people, that's what's really sus. That person also had a line of artisanal paints, which he asked another person to make, but sold under a name. Oh, that sounds like a good deal. You know, I think I missed my calling. I should have made a a watercolor world drama channel. That might work. That might like earn me something. How you be saying it's professional when it's not even being presented as professional place? I don't know. I think she confuses two notions of professionalism. One is the actual quality of the paint, professional paints, so made with reliable ingredients that have tested qualities that you can rely on and whatnot. And then the act of using whatever kind of paint to make something that you will sell, thus making you a professional. I've seen professional artists do really beautiful work with the cheapest of products you could think of. They just know how to use them and it looks amazing. But yeah, I wouldn't call what they used professional supplies because they are being used by a professional artist with the intent of selling the artwork, you know? And yeah, this doesn't count. I agree. Just be honest, be accurate, don't be shady. Yeah, it's like Lena says, it's neutral, it's just info. Like, if you told me that Daniel Smith's manganese blue hue has optical brighteners in it, meaning that it catches in the blue light, the black light, and glows, I think it's awesome, but I would love to know. Honestly, the drama channels are kind of weird too. I expect professional paints to list pigment info. Yeah, I mean, the drama channels are really weird. The thing is that people love to watch drama content, so that's the main interest of it. But regular drama is boring. Silly, lightweight artist drama is much more fun, in my opinion. But it's professional paint versus professional artists. Yeah, I know, you know, we know. But I still think that's what Christie is sort of confounding in her head, these two notions. That it's not because like it's two separate elements that are not necessarily linked together. And I don't see why. Like, alone, she mentions in the live stream that she wants to have professional in the title of her listing because that has a better like SEO, whatever. Like on Amazon, it's including the word in the title of the products will make it sell more. You know, it gets more recommended and whatnot. I'm like, okay, fine. But to be so adamant about it when there is no backing for the fact that these are professional paints or not, you know, that's the weird thingy. I don't. You can make art from trash and it will be professional art. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've seen super talented works using, yeah, Cutman paints. Running around like crazy today, but hey, Ellen! Hello! Hey, it's nice to see you. Cheap, affordable supplies, even non-IFS supplies, won't make the art made with. I mean, art. That's sort of part of the AI art problem too. But the thing that makes something art is the whole thought process behind it, and the way the person tried to express their thoughts and whatever. Like, I saw a pop art exposition once, a very long time ago, and one of the pieces really stayed with me. It was someone famous's garbage, like literally the garbage that was in the garbage bag, but all of it had been poured into transparent resin. So basically, you had this garbage from decades ago immortalized in resin, and that was the piece of art. And on itself, it's literally garbage. You cannot get more literal garbage than a display that's garbage stuck in resin. But that was not the interesting part. The interesting part is the artist's thought process behind making this happen, you know? So, same with paint. Like, the paint itself is not that important, it's what you do with it that makes it art or not. And anything can be a professional supply. And I mean, if you need to put professional in the title there to make it sell more, first of all, that's kind of sad. But then, okay, let's play the game. Fine, say in the description that it's fun paints that are good for hobbyists and professionals. There you go. There you kind of, you know, you don't necessarily call the paint itself professional grade. You just say that it can be used by anyone, including professionals. Well, I kind of feel like it would go better, you know. Cheap, affordable supplies, even non-IFS supplies, won't make the art made with it less professional. Yeah. And I mean, oh, so you used all neon colors in your painting. Still art. Still professional if you sell it. You gotta tell the people, like, hey, it's professional, it's neon colors, so they will probably change and fade over time. And if the person is like, cool, that's awesome, there you go. Let the consumers know so that they can make their own decisions about whether to use it. Yeah, that's not for her to decide what is professional or not. It's for whoever is using it. I have no headspace for random drama. Apparently I missed some Dramarama. Oh, absolutely. It's just food for thought. Basically, I was curious about it because I saw this happen, and I feel like drama content is really good background noise when doing other things, so I tend to listen to drama stuff, but sometimes it's art drama, which is the best kind to listen to because at least I understand what's going on somewhat. And I was just pondering this notion of putting something out there, putting yourself out there as a content creator, yet not being fully ready to receive criticism and fully expect to only get the good stuff. And it just makes no sense to me because I know that it logically doesn't make sense. There will be someone out there that will hate your guts for no reason. Or for whatever reason they deem worthy. That's not the point. But it's also what reviews are for, right? To see what is possible with products. And yeah, exactly. And Lindsay had good things to say about the paint. She just said that she don't think they rank to the same level as other professional paints that she's used. Which is fair. How... I try to call it properties in reviews, which can be different, but doesn't mean something is worse than something else, like high flow versus low flow. It depends what people need. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like as a content creator and a reviewer, your goal should be to just share your interpretation, share your knowledge, and share your experience of the products. Not necessarily share your opinion of them. You can if you want, but that's not as helpful. I hope not. I think we're not going anywhere to spam comments. No, just... You guys, don't go watch the videos and leave nasty comments. Sorry. Wow, and I thought those in memoriam Victorian flower arrangements sealed in resin were weird. Oh, you haven't seen the... I need to find... I'll try to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it on the Discord server and live stream after party. Because it's just so funny, but I that one stayed with me. Like, I don't remember many of the exhibit elements of that specific one, but the trash and resin was really fascinating. I always think about My Bed by Tracy Emin. What is that? The one time he's ever rented about art. About the My Bed. What is it? What is it? What is it? He really doesn't like Tracy Emin, and My Bed just infuriated him. Tell him that it burned so it can't be bothered now. That was the 10th. What's that about? Oh my gosh, that sounds hilarious. You made me laugh really loud. With what? With the... you guys don't go check the videos, but don't leave any comments anyway. Oh, pooping in a bed. No, that's not art. That's Amber Heard, actually. Oh, the wall banana. Stop. It hurts. It reminds me of the art pieces I would see in the art program department when I was in college. And I say art pieces because, you know, when I said that it's the thought process behind the piece of art that's interesting, well, when you can tell that a student did that 5 minutes before the class started, the thought process is not that interesting, you know. The banana on the wall, it's just a bit lazy. Like pouring garbage and resin, that's work. You have to... And I think it was a very vertical exhibit, so you have to figure it out, you know. I'll check Wikipedia. It's her bed after she spent 4 days. Martin Creed's ball of paper. Ooh, crumble. Post soup. Oh, post bath. Hi, Salome. I'm really sorry. I'm a secret Tracy Emin fan. I know you hate me. But that's okay. I'm a big conceptual art fan in general. In resin layers. Yeah, there's a bit of planning involved, right? I just, like, to me, conceptual art, I find it fascinating, but often I don't get it. So I'm really reliant on like someone else's interpretation of the piece to sort of figure it out. Which, I mean, it's the same with like medieval art of the Madonna and whatever angels in the sky. You need someone to interpret this stuff for you because back then the visual vocabulary was not the same. So people see these paintings nowadays and they're like, there's a spaceship in the sky, aliens exist, when it's actually like, oh, that's Archangel Michael coming to tell Mary that she's pregnant and he's riding on his cloud, you know, that kind of stuff. You need the context to be able to understand what the artist painted. But yeah, it's a different kind of level of that. And deep pouring resin is a real skill, otherwise it won't cure correctly and it can start melting things if it gets too hot. Well, yeah, and this was done like a good few years ago, like it was not a recent piece of art, so I don't think resin was as popular then, so perhaps less readily available, I don't know. Maybe it was not resin. But anyway. I think conceptual art is fine mostly, but some is just BS. It's also subjective. Usually big artists have assistants to do their works. Look at Damien Hirst. Yeah, most of them do too big to work. Oh, do get too big to work. He was not wrapping the bill. Oh. I'm gonna rely on you, Otto, to help me understand conceptual art. Apple and raspberry crumble with calvados. That's an alcohol, right? Topping is a flapjack. That's kind of oatmeal, like baked oatmeal. There's a really great BBC series, it's on YouTube as well, called What Do Artists Do All Day? There's a Tracy Emin's episode, very worth it if you're a fan or want to understand her art more. Huh, okay. Cool. What I was told in art school is your art has to stand on its own, you aren't going to be there to explain it, and it shouldn't need a paragraph of text. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like the part of the art that should stand on its own is to be made in a way that will interest people enough that they will want to read the paragraph of text to possibly get some answers or to understand better. But I'm not sure I agree that the art has to stand on its own without any cue of how it got to this point. Does that make sense? I always want a paragraph of text, or 10. I always have too many questions. I really like that you have to read the description to understand the context, the meaning, and what's it saying. It's the layers of information that adds meaning to the piece I find exciting. From what I remember of art history classes, I think the part of the process that for me resonates the most is having a first look at the piece without any context, and you're like, what am I looking at? Like, you know that painting, the white square on a white background? You're like, okay, like first impression, how is this anything? Why is this in a museum, you know? And then you learn more about the process, you learn about the artist, and with all that info, you take a second look at the painting, and then things start to make sense a bit more. It constantly teaches me to not judge an artwork on just how it looks. Except caveat, if it's an art student that did the homework in the 5 minutes before class. I reserve the right to be extra judgmental about those. And to call them hacks, because they are hacks. I saw some art pieces that just made me just absolutely unimpressed. One was very reminiscent of banana on the wall thing. It was a gray canvas with a slice of sandwich bread in the middle. That's it. Like no element of trying to preserve the slice of bread. And you know, when you feel like the student's explanation is going to be, oh, this is to talk about the way, this is going to be difficult to do in English. Or, you know, some sort of BS about the passing of time and how things change with time, and, you know, the moldy bread meaning something and whatnot. And you're like, yeah, but... And the other one was a plank of wood where someone had put 2 rolls of toilet paper, like full rolls. You know, they went into the school's bathroom and yoinked 2 rolls of toilet paper from there, and then they covered the whole thing with a layer of brown wax. And you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're super edgy. Great. Be expecting a viewer to read our minds, and there's no way for an audience to know at all. And it's not portrayed or comes through even with context. Can we know that about the classical? Well, I mean, the thing is, the classical work of art, you look at it and you're like, oh, I recognize humans. That's good art, but there's a whole meaning behind the setup and the poses and who's next to who and what does that mean, and the fact that this guy has this color of cloth and this guy has this other color of cloth. Like, there's a bunch of context we're still missing. What? I found it very unfair that my teacher judged me extra harsh because I was quick. I think that's different to undergrad student work. I hope so. I am lumpy elephanting myself. Oh, gonna go get a nap. I feel like Diane Arbus. I don't know who that is. Sorry. That's a pretty blue. I agree. It's put my finger in it. It's from Holbein, so it's I think it's composed blue. Yeah, I think it's composed blue. There are my last applications. Should I put my luggage for? Hey, have a nice weekend, Ellen. Thank you so much for stopping by. No, it's composed blue. I'm pretty sure it's PB15 PW6 from Holbein. It's a really, really beautiful sky color, in my opinion. Oh, the Countess Grey and Victoria Grey. Oh, did you try them? I tried the Countess Grey this afternoon. It's lovely. Got a citrus note in the Earl Grey. Oh, so double citrus because bergamot is a kind of citrus. That sounds really lovely. I think it looks granulating because it's not dry yet. You know how some papers, like especially cold press paper, will look really pilled and mottled until the paint has dried. I'll try the Victoria Grey tomorrow and let you know what it is. Yay! That's a big pot of color. A color? Water. It's a dog bowl. I really wanted a big squat bowl for water. And a lot of people use like jars and whatnot, and they work fine, but they're very vertical, and I'm always worried that I'll tip them over. So I saw this double-walled metal dog bowl on sale, and I was like, oh, you know what? I think that might work. It holds almost a full liter of water. I think it's like 950 milliliters. And since I tend to paint with only one container of water, well, that kind of works out for me. I'm so bummed that this specific brush is almost impossible to find here because I love it a lot. But I'd have to order like a bunch of them from like Belgium, and it would be kind of pricey all in one shot. I love bergamot. Bergamot is amazing. Surprising no one. I couldn't wait to start my hot press sketchbook, but I can't vibe with it like my cold press. You can try different techniques with hot press though. You can use colored pencils and watercolor, since they tend to go down a lot more smoothly. You can use gouache on it too for like nice multi-texture effects. What brush is it? It's a brush from Leonard or Leonard, and it's called La Vie Fauve. So Levis Fauve. It's in French, but you know. And it's a synthetic, but it's really nicely soft, holds the point really well, holds an impressive amount of paint. And yeah, it's a really fun brush. I got it in a subscription box that I was sent to review, and I really like it. So if you happen to see it at your local stores, give it a try. I don't think it's very expensive, and it's a really, like, this is a size 0, so it's really the sizing of quill brushes, but it's good for everything. Jane's Gray and Payne's Gray. Someone could name one Countess Gray. Oh! Personality test, zodiac sign, but which tier are you? Gray of Grays. Yep. Hold on, what? Davies Gray, Gray of Gray, Payne's Gray, Jane's Gray. I mean, nothing against Jane Blundell, but it's a weird vanity item, you know. And part of me is really curious to know just how much this was pushed by Mr. Daniel Smith more than Jane herself. You know? Lane's Gray, yep. There's Random Gray too. I'd reserve the purple hues for Victoria Grey as it's Earl Grey with lavender. Ooh. Or maybe one mixed with cobalt turquoise. Cobalt turquoise and Caput Mortum from Sanity make a beautiful grey. Lane Wayne Rains Grey. You know what's one of the most underrated characteristics of Holbein paints, in my opinion? Is just how beautiful their granulation can be. You almost never hear about Holbein paints regarding granulation, but that doesn't mean that they don't have like beautifully granulating colors in there. You can make some pretty cool mixes with them. I used Random Gray for a commission. It was so difficult as it lifted like mad. Well, if it lifted like mad, that's probably more of an issue with the paper than the paint itself. This weekend it's the Creative World Fair again, but I'm not going. I wonder if Mr. Diaz is there again. I wonder that too. Oh no, I just made a really bad joke to myself in my head. Oh no, it's mean. An art fair where companies show off their products. It's targeted at sellers and journalists. Last year I went as a journalist. It's in Frankfurt. I can be there in 1 hour. That sounds like a fun time. I mean, I understand if you do not want to go, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they must have freebies, right? Last year was fun. I talked to Derwent people, core people, Mr. DS personally. It was fun. Random Gray had very large granulating particles in it, so glazing was difficult. I realized recently if glazing is difficult with the paint because it lifts a lot, try a softer brush. I was trying to paint layers. I can show it without messing anything up. I was trying to paint this. Okay, this is all Holbein, and I usually don't have any issues with Holbein. But as I was, putting on layer, like always wet on dry, to try and darken it up, I kept lifting, and I was like, why is it lifting so much? And I switched to a much softer brush, and that solved all my issues. So even if the brush I was using was not particularly like rough, it was still too rough for what I was trying to do. So that might help too. Boop. Hey, welcome back, Otto. They're not allowed to give free... What? But freebies. No, freebies. They're free. It costs about 30 euros entry price, and you get nothing? Not a single freebie? Not even a kind of a little baggie of a bunch of freebies that everybody gets? Ah, that's... Okay, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go either. Fine. You've convinced me. I usually use my silver black velvet, which is so soft. It's against the rules of the fair. Well, it's a stupid fair. What's the whole point if you... I mean, especially if there's an entry cost. If it was free to enter, I'd be like, okay, But you pay 30 euros. That's not cheap. And you get no freebies. Sounds interesting but disappointing. Yeah, that's nicely put. Especially if they can't sell anything. Like when I think of conventions, let's say, like Comic-Con or something, sometimes when you buy the pass, you get a little baggie of, like nothing important, but a couple of fun things in there, like just for fun. You're like, okay, that's special, that's cool. But also you get in there and you can buy stuff from artists, from merchants, and whatever. But now a whole fair where you can't buy anything and don't even get freebies. And can't try most of the products, apparently. That's so weird. I mean, if it's to that level, just make it a video online or something, or a blog post. What's the point of going there in person? And Mr. DS. Yeah, Mr. DS is one letter away from a very different nickname. Right? Said what he thought of the drama around this Primatex, and that my light fastness tests weren't real. I mean, it's a pretty unique experience in itself, especially in that regard, but unless someone has like that level of very pointed question to ask Mr. Daniel Smith, I feel like it's a bit lackluster. Best talk I had with the core. Yeah, I mean, core is golden, and golden people are just amazing. You clearly use fake sunlight, right? And fake paints. Yeah, you put them in, those tanning beds? Sun and colors. It's in the name, Mr. DS, and you failed. They were on point. Very nerdy and into their products. And Derivan one too. Don't put your paper literally next to the sun. Fake paper and fake sunlight, that's my go-to. So you paint the swatches on toilet paper and you... Hold on. Put them in a drying machine. There you go. All made by AI. Oh, stop. The nerve of that guy. Oh, I can't. Hey, Otto, do you remember when we would check out the live stream and just be so outraged sometimes at the stuff? And we were trying to like ask questions and provide information, and we were so condescended upon. That was that was amazing in in its own way. They thought we were such idiots, and I'm like, who's the idiot? Idiot. Do I remember? Do I remember? Oh my god, it's so childish. It's insane. It's just baffling. See, we've gone all the way back around to weird drama behavior that we can't fathom. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't engage in drama and didn't want to feed it. No, absolutely. Using a toothbrush. I need 3 bottles of fake sunlight stat. We are suffering horribly with SED. Determined to take down the small business of Daniel Smith Paints. I mean, you know what's the trick? The whole secret to not having drama issue is don't spew bullshit. Tell people the truth and be honest and be nice, and that's it. Rocket science, guys. I mean, I don't mind that. By the way, the way he talked, I think he probably watched it too. I'm so sorry. That's a lot of talking for me. The drama comes from trying to dupe people. Like to hide the truth and pretend that everything's good and lie to people. You wouldn't get drama if everyone was being fully honest when asked super technical stuff like that. Like, it's a technical question. It's like, what's in those paints? Oh, it's a secret. Well, you can stuff it in your butt if it's a secret then. Transparency about what is in the paints. Yeah. And none of that proprietary formula nonsense. Come on. It's not... I'm trying to think of something that has a really elaborate, precise formula recipe thing that would deserve to be protected by being a proprietary thing. And it's out of my knowledge. But it's just paint. So it's basically gum arabic, water, pigment. That's the very base of it. I think that's Daniel Smith. That's what's in their paints. And sometimes people add honey and ox gall. And that's it. Sorry. Secret camera, the DS factory. The magic ingredient is boo! Okay. Oh, just admit when you made a mistake. Like, we all know titanium white is more opaque than Chinese white. So if you say the other way around, just admit, yeah. Yeah. It's a... I don't get it. Actually, I think the drama was his ridiculous reaction on IG. Where it... Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was such a bad look. Like, and the lady was so polite too. She was like, hey, I took some, like, shots under the microscope or whatever, and I'm a specialist about these like rocks and stuff, and this doesn't match up with what we know. So what's up? No, you're not right. Jay just said one caveat is that you have to know the truth to tell the truth. Oh no. Yeah, that in this case it applies, because I don't think he was much of a painter, so it's a bit difficult to have to go from no experience and limited knowledge to trying to dispense full knowledge and full experience on something. Pooh, we were amazed by how many Pooh Team Valentine stuff was out today. Oh no. Why? I don't know. In my head, those two, Valentine's Day and Pooh, shouldn't be that closely related. What are people doing for Valentine's Day? Help. Help. What the fuck? Especially against a researcher from UCL, one of the top university in the UK, doing a gold standard test for the exact thing she was doing. And he also doubted her as a scientist and took it so... Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was such a bad take. It was so bad. Yeah, that's unsettling. Box of paint. What happened to the good old chocolate hearts? Oh, I have something really funny to share. I don't know if you guys will find it as funny as I did, but it made for something that I think is hilarious in terms of like if you can make it into a mental image, it just cracked me up so bad. But you guys remember Shiro, the visitor cat. So Shiro is a small, mostly white cat. She is adorable. She's tiny, and she has, you know, the markings on top of her head that looks like she has a little haircut or a little hat, and her whole tail is tabby. And she's adorable. She was here most of the summer, most of the fall, and she would hang around a lot. And then there was a big snowfall, and the temperatures dropped, and we stopped seeing her. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is weird. I'm not sure what's up. Perhaps they keep her inside because it's cold or something. But yesterday we stumbled upon her one of her humans while walking, and we chatted a bit. And I asked, "Hey, what's up with Shiro? We don't see her as much." And and the human said, "It's like, oh, she's fine. She just doesn't really enjoy going outside in the winter. She doesn't really like the snow and the cold, so she mostly stays indoors, and she will go out a bit, but she'll stay near the house and come back quickly." And that just cracked me up so much because I imagine her little derpy face, like peeking outside the window, seeing all the snow, making the most like memeable cat face ever, and then going back and being like, nope. Yeah. And it just cracked me up so much. And I was like, oh, this is so funny to have her be like, ew, snow. And meanwhile, Chaz, her cat brother, who has like doubled in size, he's as unfazed by the snow as you could imagine a cat to be unfazed by the snow. Not a care in the world. The only thing he wants is the snacks and the pets. And he's not cold, he's never cold, he's round, he's like a ball, and it's just so funny. But yeah, I was really happy to have news from Shiro and to imagine her being super disgruntled by the weather, being like, "Ugh, when is this gonna go away? I want to go outside. Yeah, there's still this white shit everywhere. Why?" So yeah, that was just funny. Okay. Oh, I need everyone's opinion on something. Okay, so a friend is currently dating this new lady. Ooh. Speaking of Valentine's Day, the florist in town has closed and I can't get flowers. Oh no. Make paper flowers. Like origami flowers. Maybe there's something to paint. I've thought about it. I need to process it a bit more, but it's like, it's so funny in my head. I doubt I'll be able to translate the funny to paper, but I'll think about it. Ironic that a cat named White hates white snow. Isn't it? I mean, she's white too. Like, she would blend in except for her head and tail, but she hates it. At least she wasn't called Yuki. Yuki is snow, in case you guys don't know. So, new lady, been on a few dates. She's also dating someone else, can't decide, but that's another. Oh my gosh. My friend is doing the gentleman thing of paying for all the dates. Okay. So she bought him a present. Uh-oh. It was a Fornam and Mason assorted tea set. Oh, I'll need context on that. Is that a nice present? I remember that brand name from the tea you've shown me, but I have no context for it. Fortnum and Mason is where the royal family should. Oh! Ooh! Oh, schnut! She bypassed all the Valentine's lovey-dovey stuff on the website to get him a plain set of teas. To me, it doesn't read romantic gift. Does he like tea? Yeah, that was the thing I was wondering about. And also, like, is it possible that she might have thought all the Valentine's lovey-dovey stuff was a bit too on the nose, or a bit too, like, girly, whatever that means, to offer him? You get F and M teas for family. He likes gin. Like the alcohol, or is gin another acronym for something? Sometimes it's hard for men. You can't buy them flowers usually. Yeah, but if it's a thank you gift, it definitely sounds like a gift you give to someone you don't really know. Tea is what you bring a new teetotal neighbor or your in-laws you don't know. Yep. Oh my god, like they have this adorable cookie set of two birds nuzzling each other. Gin as in the alcohol gin. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's an assortment of like general teas. I feel like that's oh, what's the word in English? I don't know. It's the kind of gift like good for any occasions. Like if someone likes tea, they will like this. If you don't really know them, it's a safe and fair gift. For someone who you're dating, it's a bit, what it kind of feels like to me. It kind of feels like she was in F&M anyway for other stuff, and she was like, "Oh, I need to get so and so something." Um, um, um. Oh, look, an assortment of tea, and like not one of the romantic ones because that might be a bit awkward, whatnot. Since the whole dating two people situation thingy. I love tea, and if hubby bought me some tea, I'd be chuffed. Not that we've been together for 23 years, not as our first Valentine's Day gift. But that's the thing. Are they gonna do anything for Valentine's Day? It's not even Valentine's Day yet. It's in, what, 2 weeks? Or my theory is that she already had the set, maybe. Oh, she had it from Christmas. It's the perfect gift exchange at work gift that you can get. Because it's such a generic but good kind of gift that regardless of whoever you get, especially in the UK, like it would be like giving a couple of cans of maple syrup here. You can't go wrong with giving someone. Well, I mean, actually, you can go a lot more wrong if the person turns out to be diabetic and you don't know. But tea, it's really hard to go wrong with tea. If the person doesn't drink tea, they'll know someone who does, like their family or something. Well, for that, she will have to decide which guy she wants to date. Ugh. I love the I love you pork pie. What? What? Are they random? I mean, in my head, I picture a pork pie that someone wrote "I love you" in the, the dough on top, and it's hilarious. It's a great gift. I'd take it. Give me a pork pie with. Or the random extended family, but you still want to look fancy. Yay! Oh, olive oil. We gave olive oil to our friends. Like, I think most of our gifts this year were food gifts. Because all of us are getting old and we don't really need any kind of physical items, really. But food is always welcome because you can get good food and food will make you happy and food will taste good and then food will be gone. Win, win, win. For context, you can't get F&M stuff easily. It's usually online, airport, or their London store. So it's not something she can just pick up at the local shop. So it makes no sense to me. I think the theory of she got it from somewhere or someone and regifted it makes a lot of sense. Maple syrup is a good gift, really, especially if you visit people that are not in Canada or the northern US. Well, you can be sure I'm going to bring a lot of cans of maple syrup when I visit Ottawa. Also, duck fat. Duck fat is super handy. It just doesn't. You can't really have as pretty a presentation as, let's say, olive oil bottles. But yeah, we got some of our friends like really tasty, fancy. Not fancy in the terms like, oh, it's pricey, but it's really good olive oil that's super tasty. And they had like a box set with red wine vinegar, and we got them a bit of balsamic vinegar and another fancy bottle of oil, and I know they will like it because they like food. You know? Also, duck fat is just says, I love you. Olive oil and duck fat. Our in-laws buy us F&M butter. Oh. I'm drooling. I'm so glad you think it's a re-gift too. Yeah. I'll let you know if it gets picked or not. It sounds like a reality show. Duck fat comes in a really nice metal box. Oh, really? Over here, they come, like the one I can find comes in a super boring plastic container. Olive oil gifts don't get me going. What's wrong with them? I think the olive oil we get is from Spain too. And it's organic and it tastes super light and like fruity. It's really yummy. Feels like it. She said she wanted him to kiss her and he refused. Is this the guy that I'm thinking of? You know who I'm thinking of. Is this the guy? Because if so, how does he find these, pardon my French, losers? How? What? How? Where does he find them? I don't get it. On my hubby's birthday, we went to on a tea tour in London to tea shops and stuff because I know he likes tea. Yeah, and it's an event. It's something you can, remember and take photos of, and it's an experience. It's fun. But yeah, you don't give that to someone that A, you don't know, or B, doesn't like tea. Dating apps. Ugh. Well, on his side, he doesn't want to kiss her until she picks him. Totally fair. But, I mean, it's not... Like, what bugs me is not the fact that he won't kiss her, is that she asked for it while dating another guy. That's the part that, like, breaks my brain a bit. Free meal apps. Well, yeah. Fair, but at some point you need to pick someone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally fair on the guy for not wanting to kiss her. I don't think anyone would. But I guess she thinks... Yeah, he needs to drop her. Like, this is not gonna end well. There's no way this is a matchup for the ages. They've been on loads of dates too. Like, how many dates did... Well, I mean, perhaps she's just broke and needs food. That's also... Yeah, Salome said free meal apps. Kinda. I hope he doesn't struggle as much to let her go, because that's definitely what's coming. As he did with the other one. Because that's not going anywhere. It's not... Alright, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I need a break. I need to drink a lot of water and get some cough drops. I'm really hoping she dumps him. I'm hoping he dumps her. Let her start paying for the dates and I'm pretty sure she'll decide quickly. Oh, that's a very good point, actually. And yeah, I understand it's really nice that he wants to pay for the dates, but at some point, a line needs to be drawn, But this is him all over, yeah. And this is why the Valentine's theme is poops. Yep. Nice. Bring it back. Oh my god. He will get immediately more excited when a woman isn't emotional. Oh. Oh, the humanity. He probably needs therapy. He has a therapist. He needs more sessions or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like, there was a girl he was only semi-interested in, which turned into his obsession when he found out that there was another guy she was into. I love dating people who aren't into me. Yeah, that's a mood. It's like choosing someone with whom the relationship can only go wrong. Yeah, exactly. It sounds so complicated. I agree. Also, what is this American style dating in the UK? What is American style dating? It's probably due to the dating apps. I had a friend who would be mean to people she liked, so she isn't as hurt when they leave her. But probably all left because she was mean to them. Yeah, that's kind of self-defeating a lot. American style dating is when you date multiple people. Really? Dang, it must be really old. Really, really old, because I've never heard of that before. If anything happens with me and hubby, I'm just gonna live alone with 100 cats. Yep, same. Same. It's fine. I'm absolutely not wanting anything to happen, but if anything was to happen, I know for sure that I wouldn't want to date again. Ugh. Until you and someone agrees to be exclusive? That's so fucked up. Like, it's a whole thing to decide you're going. Ugh. Ew. Ew. This reality show crap. Okay, I need a break. I need something to. I need to rinse my brain, I think. Yeah, how is it dating if you're not into the person that much? This is what we used to call friends with benefits, right? Is that it? All right. On this lovely note, hopefully I'll be able to have a stream next week. In the meantime, we all have the Discord server with where we can hang out. Try to finish this so I can film a sketchbook tour this week. I have a couple of other videos that I know I want to film and record and edit and post. But for now, it's time to go drink a lot of water, I think. I hope you guys have a really nice weekend. It was really awesome to have you here with me. And I hope you had a fun time. Thank you for your thoughts about the whole drama thing. It's always helpful to get different perspectives. And yeah. Have a nice weekend, guys. See ya next time. Bye bye.